What happens when the legacy of a Hollywood icon collides with a truth their family can no longer hide? When a son or daughter steps forward and says, "I'm gay," it doesn't just make headlines, it challenges decades of image, belief, and expectation. For many viewers, especially those who grew up admiring these stars, this moment can feel unsettling, raising questions about family values, identity, and what it truly means to support the people we love. Elliot Page became a defining voice in a global conversation in December 2020 when he shared a deeply personal letter publicly affirming his identity as a transgender man. Known to many audiences for standout roles in Juno and Inception, his announcement marked not only a personal milestone, but a cultural moment that resonated far beyond Hollywood. His decision to speak openly encouraged widespread dialogue about gender identity, reaching households, communities, and media platforms across the United States and internationally. For many, especially those less familiar with these discussions, it served as an entry point into understanding the experiences of transgender and non-binary individuals. By sharing his journey with honesty and dignity, Elliot offered representation to a community that has often been overlooked or misunderstood. The response from fans, fellow actors, and public figures was overwhelmingly supportive, underscoring a broader shift toward empathy and acceptance. For older generations in particular, his story prompted meaningful reflection. Conversations that may have once been avoided began to take place in families and social circles, fostering greater awareness and compassion. Elliot Page's journey stands as more than a personal transformation. It represents progress in visibility and understanding. His courage demonstrates that living authentically can inspire not only individual growth, but also a wider cultural shift toward respect, acceptance, and human connection. Zaya Wade, the daughter of Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle Union, has emerged as a powerful example of authenticity, courage, and the impact of family support. In 2020, when Zaya publicly shared her identity as a transgender girl, it marked a deeply personal milestone for her and a defining cultural moment for audiences across the United States and beyond. Rather than responding with uncertainty, her parents chose to stand firmly beside her. Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle Union embraced Zaya with openness and unconditional love, setting an example that quickly extended beyond their household. Aware of their public influence, they began using their platform to advocate for transgender youth, emphasizing the importance of acceptance, dignity, and protection. Their message has remained consistent. A parent's responsibility is not to shape a child into expectations, but to support them in becoming who they truly are. During the NAACP Image Awards, Dwayne Wade publicly honored Zaya, expressing that his role as a father is to nurture her hopes and help her achieve her dreams. His words resonated widely, offering reassurance to families navigating similar journeys. Through Zaya's confidence and her family's unwavering support, their story has encouraged meaningful conversations across generations. It stands as a reminder that acceptance within the home can shape not only a child's future, but also society's broader understanding of compassion and inclusion. Chaz Bono, the only child of legendary entertainers Sonny Bono and Cher, has become one of the most recognizable voices in the transgender community. Growing up in the spotlight, Chaz faced the pressures of public life while quietly navigating deeply personal questions about identity. In the late 1990s, he first came out as a lesbian, taking a courageous step at a time when public conversations around sexuality were far less visible than they are today. However, his journey did not end there. In 2009, Chaz publicly shared that he was transitioning, embracing his identity as a transgender man, and beginning a new chapter of his life with honesty and determination. By choosing to document and discuss his experience through interviews, media appearances, and the acclaimed film Becoming Chaz, he brought unprecedented visibility to transgender stories in mainstream culture. His openness helped challenge long-standing misconceptions and offered reassurance to individuals facing similar struggles. Reactions from the public were varied, but his resilience earned widespread respect. His mother, Cher, has spoken candidly about her initial difficulty in understanding his transition, an experience that reflects the reality many families face. Over time, however, she became one of his most vocal supporters, proudly standing by his side. From his appearance on Dancing with the Stars to his continued advocacy work, Chaz Bono's journey represents both personal triumph and cultural progress, demonstrating that living authentically can foster greater understanding, compassion, and acceptance. Jaden Smith, the son of Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith, has steadily built a public identity defined by creativity, independence, and a willingness to challenge convention. From an early age, he stepped into the spotlight through film, most notably alongside his father in The Pursuit of Happiness, while also pursuing music and artistic projects that reflected his distinct perspective. Over time, Jaden became equally recognized for his approach to fashion. In 2016, he gained widespread attention after appearing in a Louis Vuitton women's wear campaign wearing skirts, an intentional choice that questioned traditional ideas about gender and clothing. For Jaden, style has never been about fitting into established categories, but rather about self-expression and creative freedom. Beyond fashion, he has spoken openly about identity and individuality, often rejecting rigid labels in favor of a more fluid understanding of self. His perspective has contributed to broader cultural conversations, particularly among younger audiences, about breaking away from limiting expectations. Jaden's influence extends into advocacy as well. He has supported initiatives related to environmental sustainability and mental health awareness, using his platform to highlight issues that resonate across generations. Through his work and public voice, Jaden Smith represents a modern approach to identity, one that values authenticity over conformity. His journey continues to encourage others to think more openly about self-expression, while reflecting a cultural shift toward greater acceptance of individuality. Charlize Theron, widely respected for her performances in films such as Monster and Mad Max: Fury Road, is also recognized for her role as a devoted and thoughtful parent. Her public support for her transgender daughter has become a meaningful example of compassion, understanding, and unconditional love. Charlize has spoken openly about her child's journey, recalling a pivotal moment in early childhood when her daughter expressed that she did not identify with the gender others had assumed. Rather than dismissing or questioning that experience, Charlize chose to listen carefully and respond with empathy. She has emphasized that her responsibility as a parent is not to define her child's identity, but to provide support as that identity naturally unfolds. By the time her daughter was around 7 years old, Charlize publicly acknowledged her as a girl. She has consistently framed this decision not as a public statement for attention, but as a matter of honesty and advocacy, reflecting her belief that visibility can foster greater understanding. In interviews, Charlize has underscored a simple but powerful principle. Every child deserves to grow up in a safe, affirming environment, free from rigid expectations. Her openness has encouraged many families, particularly those less familiar with transgender experiences, to approach these conversations with greater care and compassion. Charlize Theron's story illustrates that acceptance often begins within the home. By choosing understanding over judgment, parents can help their children develop confidence, resilience, and a strong sense of self. Ray Cyrus, best known for his hit song Achy Breaky Heart, has long been recognized not only for his music career, but also for his steadfast role as a supportive father. His relationship with his daughter, Miley Cyrus, reflects a broader message about acceptance, respect, and the influence of family values. Miley Cyrus, now an internationally known performer, has been open about her advocacy for LGBTQ+ rights and her belief in personal freedom and self-expression. Throughout her career, she has used her platform to speak on issues of identity and equality. Ray has consistently stood beside her, offering encouragement and reinforcing her right to express those beliefs. During the mid-2000s, as public debates intensified over legislation affecting LGBTQ+ communities in states such as Mississippi and North Carolina, Ray made it clear where he stood. He voiced opposition to discrimination and emphasized that these issues were not abstract political matters, but ones that directly impacted people he loved and respected. His perspective reflected both his role as a PITA and as a public figure aware of his influence. What distinguishes his support is its authenticity. His actions have not been driven by attention, but by a clear commitment to fairness and compassion. Through his example, Billy Ray Cyrus demonstrates how a parent's acceptance can empower a child's voice, while also contributing to a larger cultural shift toward understanding and inclusion. Stephen Ira, the son of Annette Bening and Warren Beatty, has emerged as a thoughtful and influential voice within the LGBTQ+ community. While growing up in a well-known Hollywood family, Stephen chose to pursue his own path, one defined by writing, reflection, and advocacy. As a transgender man, Stephen has spoken openly about his experiences, using both his public voice and his poetry to explore identity, belonging, and personal truth. His work has been published in respected literary outlets, including the Paris Review, highlighting not only his perspective, but also his talent as a writer. His journey has also had a profound impact on his mother. Annette Bening, widely recognized for her performances in films such as American Beauty and The Kids Are All Right, has often shared how Stephen's experiences expanded her understanding of identity and deepened her empathy. She has described motherhood as a commitment to unconditional support, especially when a child faces challenges that require honesty and resilience. Over time, Bening has become an advocate for greater awareness and acceptance, particularly among audiences who may be less familiar with transgender issues. She frequently speaks with pride about Stephen's intelligence, creativity, and integrity, emphasizing both his personal achievements and his broader influence. Together, their story reflects the transformative power of family acceptance, demonstrating how openness within the home can inspire compassion, encourage dialogue, and contribute to lasting cultural change. Sarah Sutherland, the daughter of Kiefer Sutherland and granddaughter of Donald Sutherland, has steadily established her own identity in the entertainment industry. While her family name carries a strong Hollywood legacy, Sarah has worked to distinguish herself through talent, discipline, and a commitment to her craft. She is best known for her role as Catherine Meyer in the HBO political satire Veep, where her performance earned praise for its sharp timing and understated authenticity. Despite the expectations that often come with a well-known lineage, Sarah has consistently demonstrated a desire to be recognized on her own terms. Beyond her professional work, Sarah took a deeply personal step by publicly coming out in a candid social media post. Her decision reflected not a pursuit of attention, but a willingness to live openly and honestly. By sharing her identity, she contributed to broader conversations surrounding visibility and acceptance within the LGBTQ+ community. The response from those closest to her was overwhelmingly supportive. Her father, Kiefer Sutherland, expressed pride and unconditional love, reinforcing the importance of acceptance within the family. Friends, colleagues, and fans also responded with encouragement, highlighting a growing cultural shift toward openness and understanding. Sarah Sutherland's story illustrates how authenticity, combined with strong family support, can empower individuals to live truthfully, while also encouraging wider acceptance in both Hollywood and society at large. Rumer Willis, the daughter of Bruce Willis and Demi Moore, has worked steadily to establish her own identity in the entertainment world. With appearances in films such as The House Bunny, a recurring role on Empire, and a winning performance on Dancing with the Stars, she has demonstrated both versatility and determination to be recognized for her own achievements. Yet Rumer's journey extends beyond her professional accomplishments. Growing up in the public eye brought constant comparisons and expectations, but she has spoken openly about her efforts to define herself on her own terms. Rather than being overshadowed by her parents' fame, she has embraced individuality and personal growth. In a candid conversation on the podcast ID10T with Chris Hardwick, Rumer discussed her experiences with attraction and relationships, including her openness to women. She presented this not as a dramatic revelation, but as a natural part of understanding herself more fully. Her perspective reflects a broader cultural shift toward fluidity and self-acceptance. Central to her journey has been the strong support of her family. Bruce Willis, Demi Moore, and her siblings have consistently shown encouragement and acceptance, helping her navigate both the pressures of Hollywood and her evolving identity. Rumer Willis's story highlights the importance of honesty, resilience, and family support, demonstrating that embracing one's true self can inspire confidence, foster acceptance, and contribute to a more understanding society.